Yeah, all right. Oh, it's going cold, ain't it? When it gets cold like this, it always makes me think of me Uncle Jack, who lived in Ash Terrace, just off Trafalgar Road, Tividale. Lovely. Oh, he was very mean indeed. He did like spending money, did Uncle Jack. He really did. He lived with his wife, Jeanie, and his three teenage children, Willie, Millie, and Tilly, in a lovely detached house, as I say, on Ash Terrace, just off Trafalgar Road. Well, he uh, he was particularly mean when it got cold. He wouldn't. They did have central heating, of course, in them days, but he wouldn't light a coal fire, and he wouldn't plug in the electric fires. He hated wasting money. He said it was a waste of coal, and if he plugged the electric fires in, then he'd have to put an extra shilling in the meter, and he didn't want to do that. So what he did, all of them, the whole family, he used to put a candle on a saucer on the dining table, and the whole family, they used to sit around it and rub their hands together like that. And if it got really cold, only if it got really cold, then he'd light the candle. Oh, he was mean. He did his own shopping day. He did it day by day. He went to them shops on Trafalgar Road. You know where I mean? Just up from Birmingham New Road. And he'd go in the fishmongers and he'd say, "Now then, what's your cheapest fish today?" And the fishmonger would say, "It's whale. We've got some nice whale steaks, eh, we?" Jack would say, "I'll have half of a whale steak for me, please, and leave the head on for the cat." And then he'd go next door to the general store, Arkwright's. You'll probably remember it. And he went in, and as soon as he went in, he'd say, "Right then, how much are your eggs today?" And Arkwright would say, "Well, I'm sixpence a dozen, or threepence a dozen for the cracked ones." And Uncle Jack would say, "Crack us half a dozen." His favourite feed was he liked ptarmigan and spam fritters. On their own, just ptarmigan and spam fritters. And then for a sandwich, he really loved a faggot and pie cob. He loved them. Now, Uncle Jack, he had this old 1956 Ford Anglia 100E. I still remember the registration. It was RNP 925, wore it. And it was the old 1956 Anglia, the one that looked like a box on wheels. It wore that new one, with a slanty rear window, the posher slanty rear window that everybody wanted. This was the old-fashioned box one. Oh, and it was a right rust bucket. It really was. We kept going, so he wasn't going to buy a new one, was he? And the driver's door was particularly bad. It had all rust in it, and a big hole had developed from the rust. So one day he decided to go down the scrapyard. So he went to Budgie Kinsella's, Bride's Village, just across the Birmingham New Road. And he went in his Anglia, and he said to Budgie, he said, "Hey, Budgie, have you got a door, a driver's door that'd fit that?" And Budgie Kinsella said, "All right, have, Jack. I've got two. They ain't that colour, them different colours, but they'd fit." And Uncle Jack said, "All right, I'll have one of them. How much am they?" And Budgie Kinsella. Now, Budgie Kinsella got his name, Budgie, his nickname, Budgie, because everything went cheap. See, get it? Everything went cheap. That's why everybody called him Budgie. So he said, "How much am they, Budgie?" And Budgie said, "To you, Jack, I'm a tenner. You can have it for a tenner." "Blimey," said Uncle Jack. "That's expensive, ain't it? A tenner for an old car door. I've been to Marley's scrapyard out near Titley Pools, and he got an Anglia door there. He said, fiver for a door." "Well," said Budgie, "you should have had it off him, shouldn't you? Fiver for an Anglia door, that's very good. Why do you get it?" "Oh, well, when he checked, he ain't got any." "Oh, well, you see, said Budgie. When we ain't got any, ours am a fiver. All right, said Jack. I'll come back, Budgie, when you ain't got any. Ta-ra a bit. Stay out that Oss Road. It's still ever so busy out there. And do thank your mother for the palings. They was lovely spread on toast. Really enjoyed them. I've got to go now. I've got to go and check the outside lavvy. Make sure the paraffin lamp's lit, and I'm going to turn it up a bit because it's getting a bit cold out. So we don't want it frozen up, do we? So I'm going to go and turn the wick up so it'll keep it warm. So ta-ra a bit. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Don't do anything soft. Ta-da!